In this video, I'm gonna share a day in my life as a business owner and a mom. I have 2 kids and I run a full-time business as a content creator on YouTube, and I sell digital products as well. So this is kind of a day in my life as I work to build my business, to grow my income, but also spend more time with my kids and have the life that I've always dreamed of, where I'm able to give them the mom that they deserve and also grow my business. It's not all roses, it's not always easy, but I'm gonna share the day I kind of have set up. This is a very typical day, and then kind of share along the way what I do, the stresses and problems that I encounter, as well as the wins. So let's get into it. And first things first, let's talk about the morning. So in the morning, I get ready in a very short time period. I basically wake up every morning at 7 and I have to be out the door by 7:40. So between 7 and 7:40, we get ready. We get ready quickly. I would love to have one of those great morning routines where I wake up and I make my coffee and I film it and it's beautiful, and I am writing out my lists and I am reading the paper, but I don't do that. I don't do any of that. I wake up late because I am definitely a night person, so I go to bed too late, and then I wake up pretty late in the morning compared to when I have to get ready and get out the door. So between 7 and 7:40, I have to get both kids ready. My husband does help me a lot in the mornings, and then I have to make them breakfast, get them ready. I make my own coffee now instead of going out to get coffee. So I make my coffee, and then I do usually make a to-do list. I get the backpacks ready, and I do all of that in 40 minutes. And then we are hopefully out the door by 7:40 to 7:50. So 7:50 to about 8:15 is school drop-offs. I drop off my son, and then I drop off my daughter. So we go one close to us, which is my son, and then we go to my daughter's school and drop her off. I walk her in. I walk them both in. So I don't do car drop-offs or anything like that. I get out, I walk them to the door, to their class, and then I go. So after that, from 8:15 to about 8:20, 25, I drive over to my gym. It's relatively close, but I have started working out since about 2022. I work out roughly 3 times a week. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I go to an 8:30 class every single week. There are weeks, of course, where I miss, where we're out of town or my kids are sick, but having that consistent workout schedule has been amazing for me, and it's been really, really helpful. I work out from 8:30 to 9:15. It is a 45-minute class, and then I'm done. So that is always nice to be done by 9:15. I've gotten ready, dropped off the kids, and worked out already, which knocks out a lot of the stressful things in my day, and I'm able to move on to work time. So I get back at around 9:15, sometimes a little bit later, 9:20, and then for the next 10 to 15 minutes, hopefully before 9:30, I am showered and dressed really quickly and ready to go. But that is my general schedule as a full-time content creator who works and also tries to be a full-time mom so that we can have the best life possible with some of both worlds. I'll be honest, a lot of times I feel like I'm failing at both by trying to be fully involved and present in both my business and my kids' lives. I feel like I am not giving enough to the other thing. The mom guilt can be super real. The business guilt of not doing as much as I could and earning as much as I could, that is super real. It is really hard not to compare myself to people that have bigger teams than me, that are just better at this than me, who have more income, more videos, better videos. It's really hard not to compare to them, but I try to do my very best to focus on what I can do to be present. I actually started going to yoga classes recently, and that is something that has been really nice because it forces you to be present, to be mindful, to be focused on what is here and now. And that's something I've been trying to carry over into my business life and my mom life, because I know that being present and being focused on what I can do, what I am actually doing, is so much better than looking around me and trying to compare and adjust based on what other people are doing, because that's just a recipe for being unhappy. So I am very happy with the progress that I've been making. I've made so much progress in my business this year. I am earning more money. I have amazing revenue streams. I have amazing partners. I have a great partner in Relay who is actually sponsoring this video. Relay is the financial technology company that I use for my business checking accounts. They have helped me implement a automation system where my income comes in, it gets sent to the different accounts that I need, and I'm able to feed feel more profitable and secure in my own business because I know that my money is going where it needs to go and that I am empowered to know what I'm earning and spending and saving in my business. And that has been amazing. It's made me feel so much better. So from 9:30 to 2:30 is my work time. So I don't actually work a ton of hours. So 9:30, 10:30, 11:30, 12:30, 1:30, 2:30, 6 hours a day, if that. So I don't always get started right at 9:30, and sometimes I have to leave before 2 to run errands. But in general, I work 5 to 6 hours on most days now. That is definitely more than I was working for a couple years when the kids were smaller and I didn't have as consistent childcare. So now I'm able to work a little bit more, and it's been great because my business has been growing and I've grown my income this past year versus what I was making when my youngest was a baby, basically. I definitely had my income drop and I panicked a little bit. So over the last year or so, I've tried to be more consistent about my work time. So I work for about 5 to 6 hours a day. And during my work time, I basically am filming, obviously. Sometimes I am filming videos. I film for multiple different channels. And if it is a filming day, I always try to do that first. I'll be honest, filming can be the thing that's hardest for me, which is hilarious as a video content creator. Having filming be the hardest part is kind of odd, right? That should be my favorite part. But a lot of times it's just a struggle to make sure that I look okay, that my makeup's done, that I'm presentable, and that I'm not low energy. That is one of the hardest things for me personally as a creator, to make sure that I am energetic on the days I need to film. That has been a really hard struggle, especially the time periods where I have dealt with depression. As someone that has periods of depression throughout my life, when I am going through that period, it can be really hard to summon up the energy, summon up the on-camera personality so that I'm able to film videos. Right now I feel fine. Right now I'm doing great. Right now I'm happy to be filming and talking to you and sharing my day. Right now it feels good. But I have plenty of days where it's like, I can't film today. I'm too tired. I don't feel good. I feel sick, or I just have no energy. And the downside of being a content creator is those days still happen and you still have to do it. So figuring out sometimes the energy to do those things can be hard, which is why I put filming first, so that if I am low energy, the energy I do have is put toward that task because it is the most energy draining thing for me. So that's why it goes first. But if I'm not filming, my day usually looks a little bit different. And so basically, if I'm not filming, I check in with my editing team. So I started paying editors to edit my videos so that I could get them out faster because I just was so slow at editing. So slow. It feels really funny to say the things that are basically the essentials of being a YouTuber are the things I'm bad at, but filming and editing are my struggle points. So I started paying someone to edit my videos, and that's been really helpful. It's allowed me to be more consistent with 2 videos on this channel and 1 video on my other channel. I'm way more consistent than I used to be with paying an editor. And I pay right now $4.45 for editing each month, and that has been such a lifesaver. It's been so helpful, and it's been the thing that's made me the most consistent over time. Water break. So whenever I'm filming, I always take water breaks, and I never leave them in the videos, but we might as well leave this in because this is a vlog about what I'm doing. But usually if I'm filming a 10 to 20 minute video, I'll have a water break or 2, just because when I'm speaking, I need the water. I just sound worse if I'm not consistently drinking. So water break. But yes, if I'm not filming, I review what the editor has sent me, I watch it, I leave notes, and then I move things over on our board just to make sure that everything is assigned to the right person. And I just check in with that. It usually takes 30 minutes to an hour to do that. Then I review any emails. So I check any emails in my multiple inboxes. So I have an email inbox for basically every part of my business. So for each channel, it gets its own email. And so I check all of those and I reply to any that are important. And then sometimes I forget, honestly. So I'm not the best at email because so much comes in. I just don't always get to it or remember it. But I try to respond to everything important really quickly. I also check comments and reply to comments usually during this time as well. Then I check in with my assistant. I do have a very very, very part-time assistant that I pay on a like commission-based level. So I check in with her and check in on any tasks that she's done. If there's anything that she has created that I need to edit or check, if there's anything that she has questions about, I check with her on that. We kind of have a little check-in time, usually via text or some sort of messaging. And then at this point, I usually work on the thing that I decided is my block of main work time for the day. And usually that's something like making sure that I have content prepped for the next filming day, or it's working on digital products because I'm trying to release digital products more often, more consistently. So I'm trying to make sure that I'm having consistent products go out. And then also emails, which I'm not great at sending emails to my list either. That is something that I need to work on, but I do sometimes have that as a block of time. So today I'm going to be working on, basically I'm filming, then I'm going to be working on some editing and also some digital products. I'm actually going to be splitting it up a little bit differently today. I'm going to be doing a chunk of editing and then a chunk of digital product time. So those are my two chunks for the day after I've done all my admin work and checked in with everybody, and I can move on to my work time post filming. So that's what we're doing today. Okay, and now it is toward the end of my admin time and I have my phone out because I am actually going to be sending payments to my contractors. So I pay a couple different people for their work. So I pay for editing and I also pay for an assistant that helps me with a couple of my income streams. So I am going to pull out my phone and go into Relay and set up the payments to send to them. So I like to go in and check out what I have going on, just usually once a week, but definitely once a month. I am going in and checking to make sure everything is right. The payments that I was expecting came in, and then I go in and I check my operating expenses account, make sure I have enough money. So then I go into my payment section, I go to send payment, and then I search for my assistant, and then I basically set up the payment to go to her via ACH, and I am able to send her payment. So we're gonna click done on that, and now we have paid her. And then my editor, I actually pay through PayPal, that then pulls from my operating expenses account in Relay. So I'm gonna set that up as well. And they send me an invoice, which is nice. So basically they send an invoice and then I make sure it gets paid and then we are good to go. So theirs is actually really easy because I just go in and hit a couple buttons and confirm things and then they're paid and everything pulls out of my Relay operating expenses account. And I don't have to worry about having money for expenses in my account because every single time I have income come into my business, Relay has the automation that I've set up and it basically automatically puts in a percentage of my income into my operating expenses account. So that's always nice to know that it's taken care of and I can just have the payments go through and the account is there and full and ready to make sure that payment is good to go. And then once it is about 2:30, I stop working. I try to wrap it up. Usually if I go to 2:45 and try to get ready real quickly, I'm a little bit late to pick up my daughter, but I have to go and be at her school about 10 minutes away by 3:05 so that I'm ready when they release at 3:10. And I do try to be on time for that, but sometimes I am late with traffic. It really just depends. But basically I stop at 2:30, and then I get ready and I go drive over to wait for her to come out. So from like 3 to 4, I usually hang out around the school because they have multiple playgrounds. So we basically just play on the playground. I let her play with her friends, especially if it's nice. She loves playground time. So I try to let her play on the playground every day from 3 to 4. And then while I'm there, if I have friends there, I will talk to them, my mom friends that go to school as well. If I have friends there, if I have like mom friends there, I will talk to them for that hour. And if I don't, I will actually hop back into work mode and I will answer emails. I will work on some brainstorming stuff. I will basically just brain dump everything in my head because I'm constantly thinking of ideas, of videos, of products, of things that I can make that can help people. So I'm constantly thinking of those. So like during that time, I'll just be writing them down and fleshing them out because it's something easy I can do just in my notes and work on that while she is playing. And then honestly, sometimes I play with her too. It really just depends. She likes me to play sometimes she doesn't, sometimes I don't want to. It just depends, but that is kind of the 3 to 4 o'clock hour. And then at 4, we leave to go to the other school to to do the next pickup. So by 4:30, I'm usually picking up my son. That takes 10 to 15 minutes because they're usually on the playground. So my daughter goes onto their playground and plays with them. And then by 4:30 to 5, we kind of get home. And then basically from that time, 4:30-ish, 4:45 to 5:30, we are playing at home. We are doing whatever. We'll sometimes watch a show, we'll have popsicles, we'll go outside in our backyard, we'll play with the dogs. We just have mom and kid time until my husband gets home at 5:30. So at 5:30, he gets home from his day job. He works a 8 to 5 job, and then he gets home at 5:30 roughly based on traffic. And from 5:30 to 9:30, it is family time. So it is dinner time, it is bath time, it is book time, bedtime story time, it is hang out together time, it is husband and wife time, it is all of the family activities together. So in a row, but they're all just together. So that's when I do all of the family stuff. Sometimes we'll play games, sometimes we'll eat together at tables, sometimes we actually go out to eat, which is pretty rare for us, honestly. Usually we make our dinner and we have started eating at the table every single night, which I love. It's something that we started a couple months ago and has been really, really nice. So it's not like a fancy thing, but we definitely try to sit down every single night and eat dinner together. And then my husband and I swap off nights who cooks. So on a night like tonight, I'm actually not cooking. So I'm very excited. I get to play with the kids and not cook tonight. And that's going to be super fun. And then from 9:30 to 10:30, I try to work again. This does not always happen. Once again, it's really based on my energy levels. Am I energetic enough at 9:30 to work again? I'll be honest, like I used to work all the time at night after work, after my day, but these days it just does not happen as much. So I can't rely on this time, but I very often tell myself, I'm gonna work tonight. I'm gonna do this. And so I do sometimes make it happen, but more often than not, I say I'm gonna work at night and then I end up just reading stuff online and not, or reading a book and not actually working. But on some nights I do work. So from 9:30 to 10:30, I will work on something that I didn't finish from the day or prepping something for the next day. A lot of times I will try to prep videos at night because I can kind of write out outlines and like think about things, but don't have to be like fully on or anything. I can just kind of use my brain if it's available to me and write it down for the next day. And then in the morning I can always review that and make changes. So that is kind of the end of the day. At 10:30, I wind down, I do my bedtime routine, and I try to get in bed before 11 at the latest, but often it ends up being more like 11:15, 11:30, and then I wake up at 7. So that's my day in the life as a business owner and a mom. I hope this was interesting, and definitely make sure you stick around and check out this next video.